Hello, my name is Mark Anthony Dubose Jr. and I was born July 4th, 1986. Today I'm going to talk about something that I think is a very, very vital thing that you should be focusing majority of your energy on, and that is the start of Oreo, not Oreo, put down, start of getting your relationship correct with your dog before you try to do anything else. You do not want to start with no training. You do not want to start with no treats. You do not want to start with no praise. You want to start with a relationship. You want to make sure that that dog appreciates you. You want to make sure that dog is paying attention to you. You want to make sure that dog is in tune with you. Because how many of y'all have a dog that's in your household that is just running crazy? It's just digging. It's chewing up things that you don't want it to chew up. It's jumping all on you when you tell them not to jump all on you. It's taking everything that you own and just making it disappear. Just they're going absolutely rampage. They're in the blinds, just chewing them up and barking, going absolutely crazy. They're on the go. They're on the move. They're just pushy. And then when you put them on the leash, that dog is just everywhere. It is everywhere. It doesn't even check in with you. It doesn't even look at you. It doesn't even give you any sort of just, are you even there? It's just on leash and it's just cruising. How many of you got a dog that's like that is just constantly doing that? And the main thing is, you don't want to come at that dog and put a leash on and try to force it to do something. You don't want to come at that dog and try to give it a treat to try to force it to do something. You don't want to even give that dog a toy to try to force it to not do what it is that it's doing. You need to figure out what's going on in the first place. And to figure out what's going on in the first place is the foundation of building the relationship that you have with your dog. You need to start with the dog being able to look at you, understand you, respect you, and care for you, and not think that you're going to come in and force it to do that. You don't force the dogs to do that. You do not force a single animal on this planet to do what you want it to do. If you're just coming at it with, hey, Oreo, come here, get down. If you're just coming at it with an excessive amount of just absolute extreme force, the dog is just not going to pay any attention to you. It's not going to care about you. It's not going to give you any sort of recognition. It's just going to do everything in its power to continue to keep doing what it does when you put it on a leash, and that is get the heck away from you. And the main thing is you need to get that dog to listen, to see that you are the winner here in the world. It's not the treat that's the best thing. It's not the toy that's the best thing, but it's you that are the best thing. And the number one way to get your dog to understand that is to get them to be able to calm down. Is to get them to be able to relax. Is to get them to be able to just chill and just be able to hang out. To be able to get them to be able to get out of that excitable state. To be able to get them to the point that they can just lay down, calm, relax, and just be chill. And then you can start getting into that dog of understanding what it is that you want to work with. If you're going to come at an extremely excitable dog and just come in with a lot of force, put a leash on that dog and just start yanking on that dog and trying to get it to just go, you're going to beat it into submission. The dog is not going to appreciate you for doing that. The dog is actually going to have resentment for you. That's why with everything that you do with that dog, you have to throw treats at it. You have to use a lot of leash pressure with it. You have to just keep on pleading and begging and please, do what I want, as opposed to the dog just knowing what it is that you're looking for. It's something that is just is hard for me to see when someone's like, I need training on my dog because it doesn't listen to me. The dog does not need training. It needs a relationship with you to let you know what's going on here. And not that you're some boss man dictator that's out here to just try to enslave and just do because I said so. I don't know where this language just came with having an understanding of any sort of animal. They're not here for us to just force and tell and treat as if they're just some insignificant being that we can just do whatever the heck we want to them. They're emotional animals. They think, they feel. They express happiness, they express fear, they express joy, they express sorrows, they express all of these emotions. They have, especially dogs, they have all of these emotions. And we need to be paying very close attention that we are paying attention to what these emotions that they're expressing are. If the dog is in an excitable, anxious state, you don't want to come at it with a lot of pressure to try to force that dog to just calm down. That's not going to work. Because the dog is scared. If the dog is scared, you got to figure out how to get that dog out of that scared state. And giving it a lot of treats is not going to get him out of that scared state. It's actually going to keep him more scared. You're rewarding the scared. You're rewarding the problems that it's having. And that's something that we need to be paying very, very close attention to with when we're working with animals. On the scared side or I rarely ever see a just super confident, just dominant, just egotistical type dog out there. They're very, very rare dogs. But the dogs that we mainly have are scared and fearful dogs. If you're constantly giving praise to a scared, fearful dog, you're praising it to be scared. And it's confusing the heck out of the dog. It's like, what's going on here? That's why your dog wants nothing to do with you. That's why when you move and walk around, it just runs away and it just doesn't care about you at all. Because you're praising it to be scared. And the dog is just like, what the heck is going on here? And that's the number one thing that I believe that majority of all of us should just sit down and just stare and study and just pay attention to our dogs to figure out what is it that's going on with them. What is it that brings them happiness? What is it that gets them to be able to relax? As opposed to just thinking that you're going to force it and dictate it and tell it to do something. Your dog doesn't need training to figure out how to get it to stop jumping on you. Your dog doesn't need training to figure out how to stay with you. Your dog doesn't need training for any of these things. It needs a relationship to know that it's going to be able to come to follow you. The dog wants to follow us. Their inside desire, their drive is to follow a human being. Some dogs are cool with multiple human beings, but majority of dogs just like one person. One person to just be that solid person for them to just say, hey, it's time to move. Okay, we're going to move. Okay, it's time to relax. Okay, we're going to relax. Okay, it's time to eat. We're going to eat. All right, it's time to sleep. Okay, we're going to sleep. It's time to go for a run. We're going to go for a run. That's what the dog is looking for from us. But when we don't give them that, now, we don't be able to get that outlet that they're needing. They're just going to go on a rampage. They're going to go crazy. That's why they're digging. That's why they're barking excessively in your house. That's why they can't sit still. That's why they're always on the go, because they think that they need to be the leader. So they have to do the extra to get you to move. And again, the main thing is when you watch yourself get frustrated, you watch your dog get even more excited. You watch your dog just explode. It's just like, yeah, because it's trying to get you to move. It's trying to get you to do something. It's trying to get you to figure out how to be able to take that leadership position, and not a position that you're dictating. That's something that is so backwards with working with dogs, and especially horses and a certain amount of these animals. You cannot come at them with force and think that they're going to pay attention to you, care about you, listen to you. Will they listen? Yes, but they're not going to want to listen. They're going to do it because they're scared of what the consequence may be if they don't listen. That is a horrible animal to have say to your household. That is not an animal that you would ever want to be around any sort of children, any sort of anything. You wouldn't want that animal because you're going to always be on edge of what is going to happen. You want to be able to explain to that dog that I see what's going on with you and I can guide you and help you to be able to get through this. They're doing all these crazy behaviors in your household because they're begging. They're just saying, please take control. Please lead me. Please guide me to show me where it is that you want me to go. Because the dog can't handle that. They can do it for a little bit. They can make it work for a little while. But after a while, they just get extremely anxious. Just so anxious, and that's why they're just going, they're moving, because they can't handle that. They need a human being or another dog to come in to explain to them, hey, just chill. Just relax, man. It's okay right now. And then that dog is going to really, really appreciate you. And that's the start of where now we can start training. You're not going to start training until the relationship is there. If someone comes to you and just starts to go giving them treats to do these sits, to do these treats, to do these heels, to do these treats, to do these downs, without building that relationship of understanding what to be able to fulfill the dog's needs, you're losing. You're in a losing battle. You're never going to get it, not never, but you're never going to get away from the treats. You're never going to get away from all these everything is staged and has to be set up for it to work, that you can't just do it anywhere and everywhere. You're never going to get away from any of that. You're going to always have to keep on needing that same stuff over and over because you never explain to the dog what it is that you're looking for. You're just pushing the dog away from your own self, with the only reason that they're going to pay attention to is because of an item and not because of you. You have to start the number one thing with relationship. The dog is begging. It is begging for you to fulfill the desire inside of it that it has. Each dog is completely unique with that. And that's one of the, I'm going to say, the most interesting, beautiful things as us as being dog owners should be doing for our dogs, is figuring that out. What is it that my dog really, really likes to do that is his instinctual inner being that it has to fulfill? And you give that to them. The first day, it's going to take longer. And then day after day after day after day, when you keep on fulfilling that dog, it's going to get better and better. And each dog, majority of every dog loves to chase. They love chasing something. So you have to figure out that game, that situation, to be able to allow that dog to be able to do that. And some people, it's just take it to a dog park. Just let them run, let them chase, let them do what they do. A lot of people are so terrified of them because we're overprotective with these animals, thinking, oh, something's going to happen, as opposed to just realizing that majority of dogs are going to figure it out. If you have an issue with your dog guarding and protecting, it's because you're explaining that to them, and your relationship is not right. If you build that relationship and things are good, you could give them those outlets. Some of these dogs just, they love to just sit and hold things, and puzzles and games are things to be able to entertain that dog to be able to do. Some of these dogs love to go and sniff out items. They just love to sniff. Set up little games so that your dog can have that sniffing session each and every single day, so that you can be able to fulfill that inner desire that it has. And once you start fulfilling those things with your dog, if your dog is a sniffing dog and you let it sniff for 30 minutes to an hour every day, and then especially if you could turn it into a game to really just give them what they need, I'm going to guarantee you this, that you're going to see majority of all these, what you think are negative behaviors inside of your household, they're going to disappear, because your dog is going to finally be satisfied. He's going to say, hey, thank you. Thank you for giving me what it is that I've been begging for you to be able to do for me since the day that I came here. And that's something that is why we're struggling. Not because we don't have enough training on a dog. We don't have enough sit stays on a dog, down stays, play stays, crate stays. We don't have enough of these stays. We don't even have a loose leash walk. In most cases, the dogs don't even need a loose leash walk. The only reason that we need that is because a dog trainer out there said that that's the proper way to be able to walk a dog. The proper way to walk a dog is off leash, allow them to be a dog and do what they do. That's the proper way to walk a dog. But since they're on leash, and since they're on a harness and they're pulling into that harness, if your relationship isn't right, it's going to bark at everything. But if your relationship is good to go, it's solid, your dog trusts you, your dog believes in you, your dog knows that you're going to take care of the situation, it has no reason to bark at another dog. It has no reason to bark at another person because it doesn't need to be scared of them because you're not scared of them. And you're going to communicate to that dog that everything is okay. So pretty much every single behavior that you have going on is because your relationship is not right, not because your training isn't up to par. Your training comes after the relationship. And a lot of people, we got this completely backwards, that you start with training thinking that the training is going to be able to build a relationship. No, that is not going to happen. And especially with certain types of techniques of training that we do out here is destroying the dogs. If you're thinking that the training to build a relationship is going to be a treat-based training, what we call it today purely positive training, you're only not getting what you want for sure, because I see this over and over again. No one's getting what they're actually wanting. There's no results with it. There's no the results is the main thing that I want to say. I want your dog to be able to be in a situation. I have like 300 chickens in front of me right now, and my dogs will just sit here and stay. Do they have it in them? They want to move, they want to go? Heck yeah, that's a dog. I don't expect perfection, but I just do know that I have a very good line of communication. I could never get this, which is throwing treats at them all the time, because that would confuse them. They would say, well, I'm staring, so you give me a treat, so that means I should be able to go. It's so confusing. What's very, very clear is to give them clear instructions of, hey, I know this is what you desire to do. It's like pulling on the leash. What are they pulling towards? I know this is what you desire to do, but let me guide you through that so that we can be able to work together with this, that we're not butting heads at that. And that's why if you start with, come here, Oreo. Oreo, come here. We got roosters chasing us right in front of the camera right this second. Get down. I just love this. This is just real world training happening right here, Johnny, get down. Real world, just stuff that goes on that we all deal with all the time. Nothing can just be staged. That's one thing that I just can't stand when I see dog training videos. Everything is just staged. They're in a completely isolated, remote place with no distractions, no anything around. That's just that is false representation of showing somebody your results. I want to see the results of the training methods that you use and to be able to make a decision if that's the route that I really want to be able to go. I want to see the results, and it's something that people just are not showing is results. The results are what matters. I don't care how fancy you talk. I don't care how good you look. I don't care how smooth you are. It's the results of what's going on to be able to make sure that that's what's going to be able to work out for me. And it's something that I'm going to say to any and every single person that I can see and I can replicate results over and over and over again. When I start with relationship and then I move to training. If I start with training, I always destroy the relationship because then we're not sure what's happening here. We're not sure what's going on. You can't come into a relationship and just be trying to manipulate something or somebody, which is give, and then you'll like me. That's not the way it works. That's not the way it works at all. You need to be able to fulfill the needs of what it is that you're working with first. You need to help them, guide them, and get them into a good place first, and then they'll start to respect you. And then I can worry about, hey, let's do a sit. Hey, let's do a down. Hey, let's do these other things. And then we can work onto that direction. Not just coming in up front and just dictating, demanding, and enforcing. And I'm telling you, dictating, demanding, and enforcing is not just putting a slip leash on a dog, putting a prong collar on a dog, putting an e-collar on a dog, putting any of these what someone will call as harsh training tools on a dog. No, forcing a dog from taking it outside of its environment of wanting to look at something and throwing a treat and shoving it in its face and doing the thing called luring that everybody does with give me the treat, give me the treat, give me the treat. That is, in my opinion, worse because I see dogs in a worse state with that because they're confused, they're chaotic. They're so erratic with what they do because they're not sure what the heck is going on. They're always like, they have no clear communication. And I could challenge anybody on that because I want to see the proof. I want to see the proof. I want to see that your dog is good and is capable and it's stable and it's strong and it's confident and it's willing in any scenario with anything going on, I don't care if there's an airplane that lands right here, right now. My dogs are going to look at it like, what the heck? And I'm going to say, hey guys, we're good. We're safe. I'm safe. We're safe. I see we're safe. We're good. And they trust me. That's why they're going to pay attention to me because the relationship is there, not the training. Training is never going to get a dog to do a downstay in front of chickens that are running around doing what they're doing. It's never going to get there. It's never going to happen. It's never going to be something that'll ever go down. The only thing is relationship. And that's the one thing that we need to start with. Fulfill the dog's needs. You need to figure out what your dog's needs are and fulfill those needs. Once you're able to fulfill those needs, you're going to watch all the negative behaviors that you see go away. And then once you're able to see the negative behaviors go away, now we can teach, now we can train, now we can move into doing something great. But until then, you're struggling. You're butting heads, you're in conflict, you're fighting, and you're not getting anywhere. You're not getting any sort of relief. You're not getting any sort of help inside of your house. You're looking video after video after video after video after video. How to get my dog to stop jumping. How to get my dog to stop digging. How to get my dog to stop chewing. And you're doing all these things and all these videos and you're seeing like, actually that made it worse. Actually that helped a little bit, but it's still there. Actually that made it even 10 times worse. And you're not getting any sort of relief. Stop going to all these videos about how to train it away and go to the video that's going to say, maybe your relationship isn't right. Your dog doesn't trust you. Your dog doesn't care about you. Your dog doesn't even like you. You think that it likes you because it hangs around you. It comes every 10th time that you call it. It's somewhat around, but your dog doesn't like you. And that's why it doesn't do anything for you. And that's something that I want more people to really understand. Your dog doesn't need training. It needs relationship building. And maybe you need training to be able to understand how to be able to build that relationship. And that's where someone like me can help you out. But me to help you get your dog to sit, you don't need help with that. You need help with how do I communicate that effectively to them so that they understand that that's what I'm looking for from them and not doing it because of a treat or because of a toy or because of a specific scenario in a specific location, a specific thing. But they're doing it because that's what they want to do to please you. It's a beautiful thing when your dog does because it wants to please you. It's a beautiful thing. There's no pressure involved. There's no yelling involved. There's no manipulation involved. It's peace. It's just relaxed. It's just chill. And that's something that I want to be able to give more and more people. I want you to be able to see and have the beautiful dog that you've always wanted inside of your home based on the relationship that you have with it, not based on the training that you have. Because the training, I'm telling you, most of it is messing you up. It's making everything worse for you. It's destroying your dogs even more. It really is bringing more chaos to you. And I want more people to just focus on your relationship. When we're just in the house hanging out, does my dog pay attention to me? Does my dog listen to me? Does my dog, when I go out of anywhere in public, anywhere, does my dog pay attention to me? Or is it always like focused and it's always gone and it's always on the move? That's something that we should really pay close attention to. If you're in public and you're in a very, very high energy place like this, I want to be able to call my dog and him to be like, hey, what's going on? What's happening? Does your dog do that? If not, don't worry about no training. It's a relationship issue that you have. Because once that's good, I'm telling you, your issues are going to pretty much just start to disappear straight overnight. Thank you. Okay, guys.